somebody else don't want to do with their life or what they want me to do or expect me to do. I'm doing what I want to do with the money. I'm doing it. Nobody forced me, and she sure didn't. She was happy just renting. She didn't care. So it was 6 years. 6 years, I want to note. 6 years into the relationship before I bought this house. So as far as labeling me a simp, well, I'm sorry, that does not apply. A simp, yes, the minute you meet somebody, you're buying them a house. That's a simp. There you got it. That's a simp. I'm absolutely no simp. Absolutely nothing. I don't give in to her all the time because there's nothing to give into. She doesn't ask me for money. You know, a lot of times she'll pay for the groceries or I'll pay for it or whatever. It's one of those give and take situations with us. We've got that kind of relationship. If I don't have money on me at the moment, I'm at the store. Oh, all right, I'll just you take care of it or whatever, you know. Or I'll ask her, you want me to pay for this? Oh, I got it. I got it. Okay, tell me what you need. Even the truck driver, you got the change? No, if not, I got it here. It's a give and take situation with us, with each other, Okay, so I don't know. I was listening to Nico this morning, um, and I've made that observation many other times before, but I never talked about it. Do you ever notice that he talks at like 60 miles per hour? I don't know if this guy is on something or what, but you will notice that. Uh, Mind you, of a movie I just seen last night, Crank, with uh, what's his name? My favorite actress, Crank, and someone gave him some Chinese shot of Chinese something, heroin or something, where his heart, he had to control his heart rate, or he's going to die. But he had to keep his adrenaline up in order to live. It was called Crank, Jason Statham movie. I watched that last night. I've seen it before, but I watched it. It was a funny scene in there where he had to keep his adrenaline going. So his girlfriend, right in the middle of a crowd, she's wearing a dress, and he started screwing her right in the middle of the public, because or else he'd die. Yeah, he had to get his adrenaline going. It was a funny scene in there, actually. That's one of the funniest scenes I've seen, actually. Um, okay, I guess I should be reading stuff here. Me and the Mahal have a give and take situation as well. I give, she takes. Here you go. Yeah. Well, you live one life. You live it the way you want, not the way somebody expects you to. So expectations are, so I should be traveling all over the world. Well, I'm not that rich of any sort. Oh, sure, I'd love to go to Italy. That's the ancestry. I'd love to go to Italy or something like that. That would be nice. But sometimes it's called priorities. Sometimes you have people don't understand responsibilities. They don't understand priorities. Okay. And you have some people have priorities, which is their immediate family. Or maybe they got something going on that they got to finish. It's unfinished business. And that could be a lot of things, as you know. But you take care of things first. And if you're in a position to do something later on, then you do that, you know, monetarily, or whatever. You do what you have to do. I mean, unlike Nico, I've been around a lot longer than he has. So I've experienced things in life that maybe he hasn't experienced. Okay, let's be fair about this. And not everybody, not everything fits one size. I mean, uh, what's good for somebody is may not be good for somebody else. Uh, no, I'm not world travel. I really wish I really was. But I've never been rich all my life and all that. It was a task that I couldn't do. I'm not a backpacker, dude. That. They got their daddy's trust fund money and all that shit. And there are some vloggers out there, and I know a few that I've watched that are doing exactly that with daddy's money or something. Well, I don't got daddy's money. I don't have daddy's money. So there's certain things I can't do, but you got to take care of business first, and then comes, more time to sit down and think about, well, I don't know, I want to make a trip somewhere. Where do I want to go? And of course, I like being with my partner. I like being with her. And some people say, well, Frank's not independent. He's got to take her everywhere you go. Well, you know what? We like being with each other. I like going places with her. I like her accompanying me. That's my business. I like whether it's just going to the store. I like when she's with me. I like her company. Because I've heard a lot of trash about that kind of crap. Frank can't go anywhere alone. He's not independent. But it's so far from the truth. I just happen to like her company and she likes mine. Of course, somebody would find fault with that. Anthony says, I make over 100,000. I'm retired too. We come and go, but I still have to watch where the money goes. You make over 100K? What are you talking about? Pesos a month or $100,000 a year? Or what are you referring to, Anthony? Anthony. Oh, I keep on forgetting, man, where you live. I'm sorry, I can't keep up with that. I'm getting old. Well, 100,000 annually. I mean, that's not bad at all, really. For us regular folks. Break that down. You're talking like about $8,000 a month. You make $8,000 a month? Because if you're making 100,000 annually, I don't know exactly what it comes down to. Divide it into 12 months, but I'm going to come up with a figure here. But about 7 or 8 thousand dollars a month. What did you do for a living? Or you still work? Oh, you're retired. That's what I mean. You say you're retired. A little confusing, but that's not bad for us average folk. Do you realize the average American doesn't have but $500 to $1,000 in their savings account? Yeah, for real. Statistically speaking, and I've heard this. Boy, what's going on in America now, guys? I don't want to really get into politics, but holy shit! Like I said, for those of you that wanted to vote for Trump, you got him in. But boy, I'll tell you, he's making a mess. And allies that were close to us, and now there's going to be separatism. There's going to be a lot of friction. Uh, the American family's budget now is going all the way downhill. I mean, I could go on and on. I do listen to some of that stuff, and where our allies were, they're, well, starting to go in the other direction. Like Canada. Canada's our brothers, man. Canada is never had anything against Canadians, man. They were like Americans to me. There was a brotherhood, definitely, with the United States and Canada, whether you're on the east side of the Canada or you're on the west side, of more, more French influence compared to more British influence over on the Vancouver side or whatever, but rather than Montreal or something. But Canada is our brothers. They're our brothers and sisters there. And to put a tariff on Canada, that was bullshit. So Trump is getting punched in the face now because these people are finding their own way of being more independent away from American help and goods and services and import stuff. And that's what they should be, more independent. That's what they should be. That's what they should be. So it's really not working out for Trump and the American people. They voted for this chump. I always said it. Wait and see. He hasn't even been in office long, but look what's going on. I'll tell you right now. I'm no political analyst or any crap like that, but I could listen and I could learn. And you know, Trump, although he's saying he wants to keep us away from war, he's leading the United States into war because war creates a better economy. They've used that excuse or tactics for hundreds of years, Go to war and it helps the economy. I don't know about hundreds of years with the United States, but it's a tool. It's a tool. It's definitely a tool. Hello, Ginger Girl. You gotta go. Okay. You wait and see. I'm right about this. I know I'm right about this. If I was able to vote, I would definitely never would have voted for Trump. He's leading the snakes out of Ireland, but he's creating a lot of division with people, not just the two opposing parties, Democrat and Republican, but he is dividing people. People are going to be, here's the thing. The very people that voted for Trump are going to be the ones that are going to be the biggest bitchers and complainers about Trump coming up because, Trump is going into their pockets too. People are moving out of the United States because of what's happening with Trump. Okay. And there's a lot of businesses that, depend on import, export, and stuff like that, and he's making it hard. And the tariffs that he's charging these countries, now some countries are like, Canada's holding back on their lumber and everything else that the United States depends on and other resources. And this goes on with other countries. Europe is, it's everything Trump is doing is affecting European economy and everything else. Everybody's going to become more independent, and trade in America is going to disappear because they don't like his political and financial tactics, and it's showing its effects right now as we speak, and that's a fact. As I said, I'm no political analyst, and I'm sorry if I'm not very eloquent how I speak about it, because I'm just telling you like it is and what I see happening. I do have ears, I can hear, I can read. I see all these articles and I see all these news flashes going around, and he is not doing what's best for the country. He's doing what's best for his own party and for his own pocket and his own businesses, and out of spite with other countries. I've never seen a president try to embarrass another leader of a country the way he does and insult them the way he does. What is this telling our children? What is it telling them? That being a bully is a good thing to do? Because he's teaching children how to be a bully, because he himself is a bully. So I'm not going to be talking about Trump too much further here, but I'm just saying that you voted for this guy. If you live in the United States, you voted for this guy. I am going to tell you that you are going to regret it. And a lot of people are regretting it now. His, they do that ratings on popularity or whatever, this or that, has gone down. People are waking up, and it's, oh God, with the trade wars now and all this crap going on, and different countries are now taking sides with Canada and European nations, and are all, huddling around each other saying this fucking president is out of his fucking mind, and we're not gonna deal with this. We'll stop our oil. Canada on Montreal's side anyway. That part of the country, the Eastern Seaboard, they actually control the electricity to a lot of the United States on that stretch of coastline in the United States. They can pull the plug anytime they want, and they're considering doing that. That's right. So what good is Trump doing for United States? And everybody boasts about Trump is going to save everybody. He's going to make the country financially strong. No, he's just going to make the rich richer and himself richer. He doesn't care who he stomps on, in the process of doing it. Sounds like YouTubers, right? He doesn't care who he stomps on, to get his way, because he's like a baby that's got to get his way, or he's going to pout and he's going to be going into a tantrum. I'm watching it. I'm seeing it. This is real. This is, catch the news a lot more often, not just Philippine news or whatever. See what's really going on in America, and you're going to see and agree with me that voting for this guy was not the best choice at all. Talk about Sleepy Joe, and he didn't do this and that, but I'd rather have Sleepy Joe than bring, America into war and create a World War III, which is almost inevitable at this point. How he knocks other bullying tactics. You voted for him if you did. You voted for him, so shame on you. They're all going to be eating crow, I guarantee it. They eat crow on YouTube, they're going to eat crow politically. You're going to see what's going to happen for all the people that back Trump. It's happening. It's happening right now. He's creating enemies where they were friends. And I use Canada as one example, but Canada is a very important import and export place too. And don't forget, they're controlling a lot of electricity that's going into certain parts of the United States. They could pull that plug, and they talked about it anytime they want. I never had anything against any Canadians, and Canadians love Americans, and Americans love Canadians. Why create a kink in the friendship? I support Canada. I support Canada all the way. They're good people, and they're not. When you hear Trudeau talk, he talks very calmly and methodically. He doesn't talk like a madman like Trump does. If you do an interview with Trudeau, I believe that's who it is, right? He talks calmly, and he's not like a bully, and he's not attacking anybody. They're laid back people in Canada. They're not radicalist. Anyway, Canada going to announce their newly voted prime minister to replace Trudeau. Yeah, I've been to Canada numerous times, and on the West Coast, but British Columbia and all that. I like Canada. Yeah, their sister city, which is Vancouver, kind of a wild place. Where they got the Gaslight District over there? What was that I seen? Yeah, Canada's like a sister city to Seattle area. Vancouver is anyway. But Canada is a beautiful place. I never got to really explore it other than being in the city. I did go to Victoria, which is a lot more laid back too. There's not much in Victoria, I have to tell you. It's a nice long ferry ride from Seattle to Victoria. It was a nice ride. And Victoria is kind of a place where, they try to, more of a tourist thing. They're going to have like the British phone booths out there. Like, they'll have at trendy places to have like these guards in full uniform and stuff like that. And but it's there isn't really much in Victoria. It's just a nice place to go for a day or two. But living in Victoria, I got bored out of my mind. But Vancouver and other areas, I mean, it's really nice out there, and the scenery and the mountains, and it's a really nice place. But Canada are our friends. Always keep them. They are our buddies. They're our friends. They're our allies, and you don't want to mess that up. Of course, they don't have a huge army like United States. It's never going to happen. They're never going to be at war with Canada. That's never going to happen. They don't got the resources for that anyway. They don't get involved in shit like that. But they are our allies. They've served too in various skirmishes that the United States has created. They'll always be our ally, and they'll be there for us. But you don't want to put a wrench in the machinery with these countries, and especially, trade wars. I mean, you don't want to get into that. The United States is going to go into a downspin. And if you think it's expensive now, and I don't even want to start talking about New York City. You would not believe what it costs to live anywhere in this city. You blow your mind. You blow your mind. The rent is more than people's salary. I mean, for the tiniest little flat that you could find or something there. A box of cereal could be over $12. A gallon of milk, certainly at least $10. I mean, eggs could be about $8 or so. I mean, there's a list. I was watching something about this. You cannot live in New York City, or New York alone, nevertheless. I mean, you'd have to find somebody's basement room to rent or something if you had to live there. Jesus Christ. People are leaving New York and everywhere now because they're coming here. The Philippines is one place, okay? They're coming here. They're coming here. And they're leaving in plane loads out of, and I'm not talking about the illegal immigrants that are being chased out of the country and all that, but, and I'm all for that. I mean, keep things legal. Why not, but also have some respect for the immigrants, because who do you think built all these cities? It was the immigrants who built New York and other places. It was the immigrants. Okay, so Pennywise says, Canada going to make an announcement an hour from now as to the results of their first voting. Okay. Yeah, I don't have a lot of experience in Canada, but I have been there several times, and I've never had an ill feeling about a Canadian. Only their money was not good in America. If we ever got change in America, it was Canadian money. It really wasn't worth anything. That was the only problem. Sometimes the stores, the funny thing about it, sometimes the stores will give you change in the store. They have some Canadian money in there, nickels or whatever, and then you go back to them to use it. No, we can't take Canadian money. But you sure gave it to me, though, in the change, honey. I don't know. The exchange rate may not be great, or but yeah. But Canada, man, they're our buds. They're our friends. Don't fuck with Canada. They're actually good people in Canada, man. They're a lot more laid back than Americans in every way. I mean, even the leaders of that country is so laid back when they talk. It's not like I was talking about Nico earlier. He talks like 60 miles per hour. And I don't know if you noticed that with Nico. And Nico was not the topic, but I started off talking about that because I made an observation, I'm saying, what is this fucking guy on speed or something, man? If you know the way this guy talks, he's like 1,000 miles per hour, charged up on something, man. Just an observation, not a put down, just an observation. So calm, Nico, just, calm your horses down, get your cylinders down to 2 cylinders instead of 8. Just relax, take a deep breath. I'm not attacking you. I'm just saying I made an observation. That's all I'm saying. Damn, I'm telling you. Maybe coca influence. I don't know. I'm not going to say. I'm just saying I'm making an observation. Not observation, but, my ears, if he's not on camera, He always talked to this one guy, Mojo, Mojo, whatever. And Mojo, I tell you, I'm going to do this thing. Today he went out with the kids. Then he'll transgress into another thing. And then, there you go. My kids, I'm 2 and 3 years old. I carried and I raised them. And I don't know, I'm going to go to Portugal. I'm thinking about different places to go to, but maybe Portugal, Italy. Italy, I like to go to it. Then they talk about Greece, Greece, maybe about Greece too. I don't know. And a month from now, I'm going to decide, I'm going to be out of here, and I got enough money to, maybe last me 5 years, and I don't know, maybe just barely 5 years. And the pace of his voice is like, stop, 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 stop. I can't listen to it anymore. I have to turn it off. I said, enough. Geez, I'm just getting up, in the morning. I'm tuning in a few things, and it's like, damn. I know it's not morning time where he is when he made his show, but it's like, that's too much for me. Just getting up in the morning is, Some guy sounds like he's on fucking crank or something. I mean, Jesus Christ. It's a to each his own fucking thing. You got to understand something here. It's a to each his own thing. What somebody wants to do with their retirement is their fucking business. If I want to sit around watching some good movies, occasionally make a local road trip or something or whatever, or go to Cebu or whatever makes me fucking happy is what I'm going to do, not what somebody else wants me to do. I got a lot of business that I'm taking care of right now. There's a lot of shit that's up in the air. There's shit going on. There's a lot of things I have to think about because I am a responsible person and I try to take care of business first and pleasure later. Do the best I can with that. I'm not going to, fly all over the fucking world. And I'm not, I'm not Mr. Moneybags. I will tell you that. I'm not. Everybody has their own opinion, whether I have a lot of money or I'm broke, and everybody has their own fucking opinion. Everybody has something to say about everybody anyway, right? I mean, that's what it is. I'm comfortable in my situation. I am getting older. I've slowed down quite a bit, man. Definitely. I don't mind being laid back because I sat in my famous chair watching some TV and I was thinking, man, I'm just really comfortable. I love the companionship I have, the relationship I have. I'm content. I guess that's the word I'm trying to use. I'm content. I'm absolutely, completely content with my living situation, with my girlfriend. I'm absolutely content. I can't be more content than that. I can't. So what works good for some other people may not work good for me and vice versa, you know? Pennywise, once an addict, always an addict. Why do you think he goes to Colombia, the nose candy capital of the world? I can't say. He has admitted to being addicted to that coke. Yeah, he had, and I could say that because that's been a public thing. Yeah, he was into drugs. And that's coming from him. So we're not attacking him in that. That comes from him. Not me, from him. So let's just get that straight so there's no war here. Yeah. That's how we learn about people when they talk about certain things. Then you learn something about it because they've talked about it. Therefore, you can talk about it because Dave did. Am I right or wrong? But he's not a sterling character in any fucking way. I have an opinion. My opinion is he can't get a woman unless he invites her and he pays for trips and transportation and stuff like that. Some people could, some people can't. So I'm only saying this because he makes fun of me a lot. Everything from how he thinks I walk and everything. He's the kind of guy that's never going to settle down because he can't settle down. One of the famous things that people do, I've noticed that when they really can't get a solid woman in a relationship, they'll come up with the excuse that, I'm not looking to settle down one woman. I can't do that. I can't, I just want to go out and have fun and play around and all this stuff. That is the most atypical excuse that I have heard from these people that have a very hard time finding or keeping or having a relationship. And then there's somebody like me who has a quote relationship. But it doesn't matter what marital status each party is. Don't make a fucking world of difference. The fact is that I'm happy. She's happy. We're all happy here. She's got damn good kids that respect me. And whether or not my daughter is in my life, always been a topic here. Whether or not my daughter is in my life is irrelevant. I have a family right here. It's very doable. It's very workable. And I'm not complaining. So why should anybody else? That's what I'm saying. Am I right or wrong? Yeah. It's my gig. And I live my life the way I want to live. Not the way somebody else expects me to. I live my life and do the things I do because this is how I like it. Comes a time in life that you reach a certain age, you're saying, I like being kicked back. I like I don't have to punch a fucking time clock and all this shit. And something just as mundane as watching a good movie on TV with your loved one. That works fine for me, brothers. That works fine for me. Just being together. And a lot of people, they just don't have that. Look at Popeye, the sad life that he's living. I mean, I'm telling you, man, I just couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. You know, you got to have a little living and loving in your relationship. And living doesn't mean that you're traveling all over the fucking world. It works for some people, but it may not work for me. And maybe financially, I can't really, well, I guess I could go a few places uh, outside of this country and stuff and have a good time. But, you know, if I'm comfortable in what I'm doing, then I say shut your fucking mouths. Because nobody controls my life. I do what I want to do on my terms only. You know, let's see. Pennywise today with the 60th anniversary of Bloody Sunday, the beating incident on the Selma Selma Bridge during civil rights activation. Oh yeah, yeah. 60th anniversary of that, huh? I don't know. People should let people do what they want to do. Countries should stay uninvolved with other countries' business, but it's always about something because I need something. I need your oil. I need your resources. Isn't that what it's really all about? It's creatures, a species that needs to survive. Isn't that what it really is? And they want resources from other countries. Isn't that what it's really about? It's all about our own fucking survival. You know, squirrels gathering nuts in a tree, for the oncoming winter months. It's all about survival and doing what you can to survive. It could be a YouTube channel competing with another popular channel for ratings and getting the AdSense. I mean, there's always competition going on with something. Everybody feels that they got to compete with somebody else. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Everybody should mind their own fucking business, is what they should be doing. Mind their own business and don't worry. Don't worry about what somebody else is doing. Because you're not paying for somebody's food and rent. Oh, dogs, come in. Hint, hint. Okay, I hear you. All right, come on. Come on. Everybody needs to attend to their own business and stay out of other people's business. Yeah, we need the rare earth metals in Ukraine. They're fighting over that. And Ukraine is becoming a popular place now. But they're still killing each other, Russians and Ukrainians. They're still killing each other. Well, I'd sooner stick up for Ukraine than I certainly would for Russia. I mean, look, I don't know. Remember back, I mean, wasn't Ukraine part of Russia at one time? Correct me. But just like North Korea and South Korea, they parted ways. The fact is that everything is about survival. No country wants to run out of resources. And guess what? You don't need wood to build a house. We have materials that can replace wood. You ever see those? I've seen a lot of things like park benches that are made out of it's almost like a plastic material, lasts forever. We don't need to be cutting down all the goddamn trees. We don't need wood. Except to make paper, but you could probably find other resources to make paper. You don't need wood to build a house. I mean, look at the Philippines. Everything is fucking concrete. We don't need wood to build a house. We create a whole new industry for doors and all kinds of stuff that are not made of wood. Save a tree. Save a tree. What do you think gives us the oxygen? It's all these trees. Not a tree hugger, but, you know, I'm just saying. I think the world is so fucking divided. It's so fucked up. I don't know. Maybe I'm kind of glad that I'm at the age I am, because I don't think I'd want to live into the next century or, well, beyond the next 30 years. Because what I predict is total fucking disaster. I would like to think in a positive manner, but what I see going on at my age right now, what I see that's going on in the world is not good. People have become so divided, both politically and socially. AI is taking over, and some people think it's a great thing. I see this feature that's on my phone. I see this feature, this AI feature. You talk into this thing, it talks back to you like you're really talking to a real fucking person. That application that's out, you know? There's a trial thing on this that just came up on here, you know. One was made by, what was the name of the company with an M? And it's like you're really talking to another human, like a thinking being. And you could pose a question to it, and, you know, this has been out for a while. You could pose a question to it, they answer you like you're really talking to a human. So I started fucking around with it. I said, fuck you. We do not understand why you have such vile language and why you're saying that to me or saying it was incredible. It was incredible. You know, and there you go for the lonely people. That'll work for the really lonely people. To have an application where you're talking to a non-human, that you want companionship. There you go. There you go. There you go. You want companionship. There you go. And they will talk to you like, you're talking to another fucking human, man. I just seen that yesterday. I mean, it's been out a while, but you can. It's just a new application out there. And yeah. What's it called? GPHD? I don't know. Somebody was mentioning it on the show the other day. I don't know about this AI shit, man. I'm not sold on it. I'm not really sold on it. Some people are, the technical geeks out there, but I'm not really sold on it. There she is, the beauty queen. Hello. I'm not sold on it. And look at the future, man. Technology is taking over people's jobs. Do they think about that? We've experienced this before many, many years. Go to Safeway grocery store. Go to a lot of grocery stores. They replaced cashiers with, machines, that checkout machines. So they don't have to pay for a checkout gal. They don't have to pay. That's one less worker. People lost jobs because of that. Does anybody ever think about that? Do you ever think ahead? Do you ever think about anything other than yourself? AI making those videos that are fooling people. Yes, and right. This is the problem I have with that. And honestly, you don't know what to believe anymore. And first of all, you're listening to some YouTube thing or something there, and it's not even a person's voice. It's just an automated voice and AI, and it's they're doing these stories, that don't really exist. First of all, about something that happened to somebody famous and just to make money and views and all that stuff, but they could, they put a person on there and they're talking and saying things that they would never say. Whether it was Arnold Schwarzenegger or a lot of different celebrities, they weren't saying what they were saying on there. I mean, too early in the morning to get deep and dig into this, but you don't know what to believe on these stories anymore. They're showing, oh yeah, the largest snake in the world, the biggest anaconda or something. It's like the size of a fucking a yacht or something, and they can make it look really real. I mean, you just don't know what to believe anymore. I like to see reporting of actual documentary, people, things that really happen, not with AI technology, because you don't know what is real anymore. You can't enjoy yourself. You see all these that comes in on your feed on Facebook or whatever, right? And you don't know what to believe anymore. You don't know what to believe anymore. I don't think this is a positive direction in life. I really don't. They're getting, with the technology, they're getting to creating things that can almost think on their own. I'm telling you, with emotion and everything. Maybe that's the way of the future. Guys that can't get a girlfriend, they got enough money, they can get a fucking robot. That could be their companion or something. According to how controlling the guy is, he could program her to say yes to everything. And, some guys like that. I don't know. To each his own on that one. Where I do have a problem those with people who have certain expectations of you, what you should be doing with your life. Don't ever tell me what I should be doing with my life. Maybe I'm happy with the status quo. Ever think about that? If you're happy with what you're doing, but I've heard this excuse all the time. It's always the guys that can't really, latch on to a real good woman to have as a relationship, as a girlfriend. They're the very ones, and you know all the names of those people that will make tons of excuses. Oh, I'm not into long-term relationships. I'm just out to have a good time. Yeah. Okay. We know better. Because I'm going to tell you something. Despite the abundance of single women in this country, it doesn't mean that all Filipinas are easy. What was the name of that movie? Earth Girls Are Easy. Do you remember that one? Earth Girls Are Easy. Boy, that just came to my mind. They're not as easy as you think they are. At least the good ones aren't. Everybody puts them into one classification. Yeah, come to the Philippines and get laid. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. It's not guaranteed unless you're going to hire somebody. Right? Right? Rented dates. That makes you a real man having a rented date. Hey, look what I got in my arms. Pretty good, guys, huh? Yeah, but how did you get that girl? Come on, tell us the truth. You have to pay for her to be on your arm. Huh? Right? You had to pay for her. Shit. You could be the ugliest, fattest, ugly looking motherfucker, and you could get a girl on your arm that might be quite charming. But she's there for the money, not you. And that's shallow. And it's worthless. That's not me. Sorry. It's not me. It might be for you, not for me. Is that what you really want, or is that actually all you can get or all you can do? That's the question. Pennywise. That's it. Thank you. Chat GPT. That's kind of interesting, I must say. I was playing around with it yesterday. AI are making those videos that are fooling people about facts in the world. Yes, that's not a good thing. That is not a good thing. I don't mind some new technology that could help our lives and some. And there's a lot of people that work in offices that never work out in their life, and they wonder why they get heart attacks and they get obese. You know, technology can make people lazy. But say, for example, for farmers, they used to have to do everything by hand until they came up with gasoline powered engines and stuff to make their job. I can understand that. It's hard ass work to go cultivate a field and harvest your crops. And they got the most amazing, amazing equipment that could take the husks off corn as soon as it collects it. I mean, these are worthwhile endeavors in technology. Things like that. People don't appreciate farmers. If anybody should get all kinds of incentives and so it should be farmers. That's where you get your food from. They're not as revered as they should be. When you go to the grocery store, you're going to see produce there and fruits and all that stuff. And, you don't realize what it took to get it to that supermarket, the hard work. Without farmers and without truckers, give truckers some appreciation to transport this shit. Well, goods and services to get to the supermarket or retail store, whatever merchandise it is. People also don't give truckers enough credit. Let's see. Jerome Bonifacio, kind of rich when you pay Gilda and Penelope. I mean, I pay Penelope. What did I pay them? What do I pay them? Back up your statement on there if you're going to make a statement on here. AI is going to make dumb people even dumber. Exactly, because you're having everything to do to work for you, even do your own thinking. And you think that's an advancement in our society when you really think about that? It's not. So back up your statement there, Mr. Jerome Bonifacio. Kind of rich when you pay Gilda and pay them what? What am I paying them? What am I paying them? No, back up your statement. I'm not going to block you. Back up your statement. AGG. Frank, can you post your email address so I have it correctly? It's very simple. Jerome Bonifacio says, Gilda testified you pay her as a caretaker. She didn't say I pay her as a caretaker. She never said that. I'll answer your questions. I'm not going to block you. Oh, this has got to be Barry or somebody. Yeah. She's every one of these. She's my lover, my friend, my caretaker, my confidant. She's a lot of things. I'm her caretaker too. Okay. Did I answer your question? Well, whoever you are is pro Barry or whatever, because you happen to be talking about uh, testimony or something on there. So what about it? What's your point? I'm gonna block you. What's your point? Make your point. Don't waste my time on here. We take care of each other, sir. You got a problem with that, apparently. That's what it's all about in a relationship. We take care of each other. She's my caretaker. I'm her caretaker. So why do you have a problem with that? Hey, you started this. So I'm just asking you the questions now. If you have anything intelligent to say it. Otherwise, go away. Gilda testified you paid her as a caretaker. Boy, what a lame statement that is. Take care of each other, brother. We take care of each other. That's what it's all about. That's what a relationship's about. If you find something wrong with that, I don't know what to tell you. Any other wise statements you'd like to make on here? Anything you could back up or? Okay, she didn't testify. She was your girlfriend. She didn't testify that she was your girlfriend or anything else. Just your caretaker. So uh, uh, don't rip on those who do it, as well as she also testified you pay her. Really, I didn't realize I was paying her to testify. Okay, you got proof of that I'm giving her money to testify? What kind of a lame statement is that? That's lame. That's lame. Unfounded and lame. Sure, she testified. So what about it? She told the truth. She didn't lie about anything. Because she is my caretaker when you look at it. And I'm her caretaker. Okay? So we got that straightened out? All right. Enough. I'll have to pull a Barry on him. I answered his question. That's all I needed to do. He posed some statements and I answered him and don't need them anymore. Bye-bye. Thanks for coming in. AGG says to Jerome Bonifacio, is that first information or is it secondhand or even third-hand information? Right. What's the secret about it? We're both caretakers to each other. That's a fact. She's my caretaker. And guess what? As I get older, she is going to be my genuine caretaker. Absolutely. I mean, I hope not. I mean, in the sense that I don't ever become so sick or disabled. And I don't wish it on anybody to be my caretaker in that respect. There is a 20-year difference. Got to recognize that. Shit can happen. When you start reaching my age level, sometimes things do happen. Some things you expect and some things maybe you don't expect. That's the beauty of having a good relationship with a woman that really gives a fuck about you when you're not their ATM machine, as some people like to say. Maybe she's my ATM. You ever think about it? Could be that way too. What's that? It's Frank in Hawaii 54 at yahoo.com. That's the email I use for social media. I have another email account, which is my main one, which is a Gmail account that I don't give out. So that's the one I give out. It's all the way from Hawaii. I've kept that ever since. Now I just use it for social media, whatever. Which I'm even thinking of changing that too. I get some goobers that are writing me all the time. Barry going under different names and so forth. And then you got Timmy that's always writing me. Guy's out of his fucking monkey ass mind. Another one, Timmy. Oh my God. No, I'm not looking at it. I'm stupid. I can't do two things at once. Okay, on this phone. If I gravitate out of this live stream to go check my mail, I might be disconnecting my show. I will look at it afterwards. Yeah. So what's the scoreboard on Discord, boys? What's the scoreboard? They're all laying their odds down on what's going to happen with this and that and this and that. What's the scoreboard these days? Dare I ask? Dare I ask? That's where it all happens. Where things are being born, ideas and plans and, attack strategy and all goes on Discord. I don't either. I actually don't. Some people think I'm on Discord. I am not on Discord. People just tell me what's being said on Discord, but I'm not on Discord. I know Allo has his own thing and other people have their own thing on there too. And all that. I've never been on Discord. People just inform me, not all the time, but sometimes they inform me, well, Discord is talking about this. Discord is talking about that. I have no idea. I think YouTube is enough as a platform for me. I don't even use my Facebook other than Facebook Messenger. I don't use my Facebook for anything. Nothing at all, except for Messenger. I like Messenger. I don't post things on Facebook, really. I don't. I know there's a lot of people that try to go on Gilda's Facebook to find information and all that. And I've definitely informed her, put certain things on just for friends only, for their eyes only. Oh, they're always checking out her Facebook page and see if they can find something new going on or whatever. I'm aware of that, absolutely. See what Gilda's looking like or what's going on with our family and stuff like that. Oh, yeah. God, they got that kind of time on their hands to do that. That still amazes me. It really does. Why am I so important to people is I'm trying to figure out that they want to dive into my personal life. They want to know everything about me, when I fart, when I shit, what kind of underwear I wear, or if I do wear underwear, what brand of toilet paper. That's obsessive compulsive disorder. That's what that is. I'm not that important. I'm really not. I'm really not. And I'm not trying to be really relevant and I'm not trying to be really important. It's not my goal. It's not my goal. Just living my life. That's all I'm doing, trying to without any diversions. And there's a few, but I still live my life every day, no matter what, until I can't live it anymore. A fair statement. I'm not Robert Clausen, and people like that. I don't, honestly have that time on my hands to do what he does. I just can't do that. Although there's been a lot of shit going on with the mantis, the cockroach, I am not spending all my time talking about him or anything of that nature. There's other things I do watch as far as YouTube is concerned, and it's not always the Philippines genre. In fact, more of the stuff I watch has nothing to do with the Philippines at all. Mostly, of course, I check in on people's channels now and then to hear all the scuttlebutt and shit. We all do that, but that's not my concentration at all. If I get on this cell phone and I want to get on some kind of platforms that are available out there, basically, I go to some news stations. I do upkeep a little bit what's going on in the world and in the United States. I do. But I watch things that I find are very educational that I could learn from, whether it's health issues, medical things, breakthroughs, whether it's, some great ideas, innovations, or something to do with geography, something to do with paleontology, archaeology, different finds that they're making, different strides in science and so forth. That's the kind of stuff I listen to. I generally don't spend all my time listening to all this nonsense on YouTube. That's very secondary to what I actually do when I'm on my cell phone and spend my time, because I like to look up things. It's a great tool. I will say one thing about technology, that this technology has come in handy for something. It's a wealth of information. Punch something in Google. It's wonderful. It's fantastic. Saves a lot of time. Instead of grabbing an encyclopedia or something, or which is practically obsolete. Modern times, people are not ordering encyclopedias anymore. They used to have door-to-door encyclopedia salesmen. Remember those days? Britannia and whatever else brands. Nobody's doing that anymore. It's great to be able to go into Google and look something up. I love it. I may want to find out, is there some bad side effects if you take a certain supplement, if you take a certain medicine, or um, there's something in that avenue. It's great. I love it. I've learned a lot. Now, for people that are really shut-ins, as I call them, yeah, different platforms in the media could be your friend. You could be stuck in a wheelchair with no friends, and it really helps people out to be in touch with the world, to feel like they actually have real friends when even though they're not. And some of them, that are disabled and stuff, they do make real friends. They could tie in with groups that maybe have your disease or something, and they could talk about how they're being treated. They might even do get-togethers. I mean, there's a lot of good on the information highway out here, and some of the platforms that can be made to be a good thing. You can make a good thing out of it, you can make a bad thing out of it. It's according to who you are and what character you have. But yes, it has served a purpose for a lot of people, like Popeye, that's disabled, and to maybe come out and whether he has anything good or bad to say, it's mostly bad. But it's his way of venting. It's his way of communicating with people outside of his basement, and it's. I mean, it works for him. We may not like what he says, and he's spitting poison all the time, but it's his gig, and it's just his way of venting. He has the right to do that. As much as I don't like the guy, he has a right to do that. Is it wise he does that? Probably not. And if I lived around the corner from him, he certainly wouldn't be talking about me that way. I'll put a guarantee on that 100%, 25%, as with anybody else. But because he's so far away and he's in another country, Mr. Robert Clausen thinks he can get away with just about anything. To a certain point, he could. But that's what a coward does. That's what a coward does. He's always judging people. YouTube is not a courtroom. But people don't understand that. It's not a court of law. You can make opinions on here, but nobody has to respect your opinion. Everybody's entitled to an opinion, but it's according to what you say, how volatile it is, that could turn into something else, as we very well know, don't we? Freedom of speech, sure. Supposedly have that, but that's being taken away all the time, especially in America. Generally, you can walk up to a police officer that confronts you and say, go fuck yourself. He can't arrest you for that. Although the policeman might turn around and say you're being too aggressive, turn around, put handcuffs on him, and he'll come up with a story that you've been, his life is threatened or something. See, people are power hungry. Let me just put it this way. People are power hungry, okay? Especially the richer. The richer you are, the more power you want. And there's more to achieve all the time with power based on, monetary situations. people put a uniform on and they think they're better than everybody else. But you can't really knock cops all the time because if you grew up in America and so forth, if you had an incident going on, who do you call? You're going to get on the phone and call 911, and you're going to call a police officer to come over, right? They serve a purpose. They're not all bad. Just like not all people are bad, but not all policemen are on the take, or not all policemen are trying to stand behind their badge and gun and be a powerhouse to you and fuck you over. And there are some people that take their job seriously. They really do want to help people. You can't look, I think the society is falling apart, but there are still good people out there. You got to keep that in mind. There's always hope for our society. There are genuine people, caring people out there that don't want to see violence. They want everything to be placid. They don't want big waves in their life or in their country or state. There's people that want to live for peace. They want to enjoy their lives without, any interference from the outside. They just want to live a good life and raise their children and live out their life cycle and die and hope that they lived a good life. And the ones that are still alive, they're just trying to survive like anybody else, like any species of animal, any microbe on the earth is trying to survive. Everything is survival. You want to do what's good for yourself, of course, and your family. We have an instinct to survive. It's built in us. We got to eat, so we're going to find ways to eat. And it could come to a point that humans are going to be eating other humans. Your best friend, your best dog, Fido, will eat your fucking bones. If you drop dead in a house and a dog couldn't get out and it was hungry, no matter how much your dog loves you, he's going to eat your ass up if you die. It's called survival. Mark, yes, sir. Most police officers in the U.S. have good intentions. I think so, too. I think so, too. But you know what it is, Mark? I know it's not Mark Kiley, but, they're afraid of each other. The criminals are afraid of the police that they're going to do something and shoot them, and the police are afraid of the criminals that are going to do something and shoot them, and that's why guns go off sometimes. The officer most likely has a family or a loved one, and maybe he reacts too quickly, and maybe the criminal reacts too quickly, because they both gotten to the point where nobody trusts each other anymore. So the policeman may shoot before the other guy does, or the other guy may shoot before the policeman does. I mean, that's what happens. It's called survival. Okay, let's see. Exactly. It goes both ways. They're both afraid of each other. You know all the incidents that happened in America, police. A lot of it also happened with black dudes, and they assumed that they were troublemakers because they were black. It was in the hood or something. So you had to be a drug dealer if they were black, right? Is that how people perceive? Unfortunately, there are people that do. Sometimes they will stop you for being a certain color or a certain race and try to find trouble. Those are the kind of cops that are looking for trouble. And a lot of them have been fired and taken off the force. Sometimes it takes a little bit of publicity to make it happen, but it does happen. It happens all the time. Illegal, searches, stopping a car when there's no reason to do so. They weren't committing any crime. Then they're waiting for the person who's driving the car to get unruly with them and find a reason to take them in. Just so many incidents that happen. So many. So there are bad people, good people, of course. Good cops, bad cops. Yes, Mark, it's called survival of the fittest. It's in the animal kingdom, and it's also with humans. We are all trying to survive, every one of us. Yeah, Mark, you might recall the case of the New York PD officer, or Serpico, yeah. Of course, Frank Serpico. Yeah. You don't know it, but when you join a corrupt police station, you have to go along with the boys. If you don't, you're an outcast. So if they're doing something illegal on their job, they find ways of making some side money for their family, and you don't want to go along with it, then they get worried about you. Then you become not their comrades, their friends, their fellow police brothers. You become an enemy, a concern. They'll even kill you if they have to. And that's happened time and time again. In other words, if you don't go along with the good old boys club and you know all this information about them, what they're doing, they see you as a threat and you're going to have to go. There's a lot of cops that didn't fall for that shit. Yeah, his story later immortalized the 1973 film Serpico starring Al Pacino. Yeah, very familiar with it. Look, there's good and bad all over, but what I question is the direction our society is going to. It's becoming they're very insensitive, desensitized to blood and gore and violence. And it didn't help when they first came out with all these games that kids were able to play on their console, and everything was violent, heads being taken off, blood, shooting. I see kids walking around with fake guns all the time, and I hate it. I hate it. Everything is guns. I can't find hardly a movie on TV that is not violent, where people are not shooting each other up. War movies, police and detective movies, CIA movies, revenge movies. Everything is guns. Everything is guns. Everything is violence. So you grow up in a society like this, and you become acclimated to the fact that our society is full of violence. Kids grow up and they'll even be like their fathers or their parents. Whatever they do, they might do too. Whether they're religious parents, they might be religious. If their parents have a violent tendency or they're kind of radical type of people, could be influencing the child, of course. If your parents fucked you up the ass or something, if your father fucked you up the ass and you were growing up, you might be fucking other boys up the ass. You know what I mean? An apple doesn't fall far from the tree sometimes. Yeah. Favorite movie from the 70s will always be Taxi Driver. Oh, yeah. I'd actually like to see that again, actually, if I could find it on there. There's another movie called Taxi Driver, but it's a foreign movie. Might even be Japanese or something. What the fuck it was. I thought I found it and it was a foreign movie. Same title, a play off of Taxi Driver, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, actually, thanks for bringing that up. I'd like to look that up. What an actor, man. I like movies that really reflects what's going on in life as we know it. I like to go behind the scenes, how things are really happening in different cultures and so forth, and what life is really like, or how things have turned out, 20 years later. Maybe you used to live in, like I did in New York all the time and lived there for 28 years, whatever, born and raised. And I have not been back to New York for a lot of years. It was my mother's, she was the last, uh, yeah, she was the last one I went there for when she was in the hospital, went to see her. She died. And that was the last time I was in New York. And that's a long time ago. I don't know when it was. But, I keep up with things like that. I kind of know what's going on in New York City. It's falling apart, absolutely falling apart. Nobody feels safe anymore in the city, no matter where you are. Rents are so high that nobody could afford to live in New York anymore. They're all moving out. They're all moving out. It's going to be a shell of a city. And not only illegal immigrants moving out, some neighborhoods are becoming quite bare. Look, no, I don't like Trump, and I'll agree with him on the illegal immigration situation in the United States. Yeah, I will agree with him on that. It's the only thing I'll agree with Trump on. No, I'm not a Trump supporter, but Allo showed me there's a channel made that I'm actually supporting uh, Republicans, which is so actually ridiculous. But They devote channels to me. Who am I? I must be something pretty special because they devote channels to me. Like I used to say, I've arrived. I certainly have. Yeah, okay. Okay, well, I'm not really sure what to talk about anymore. Ah, I got things. Oh, it's Monday. Definitely, I got things I got to do today. Oh, actually, we do. Come to think about it. Important things, actually. Um, as you can see, I'm trying to stay away from this all the legal shit that's going on. As I said in another broadcast, it's not something I want to talk about anymore. If you really want to learn something, ask questions of somebody else, and unless something happens that's so worthwhile to talk about, an event or something having to do with any legal matters, then I'll talk about it. But other than that, there's nothing to talk about. There are no court dates set. There's nothing going on. So, I'm still here. Nobody's coming to my door to arrest me and all that crap. And it's just another day in paradise. It blends into another day and yet another day until it can't. If something's going to happen, it'll happen. You can't change reality. You could try, but if something goes down, something goes down. And what you do, you calmly deal with it and you try to remedy it. What else can you do? You're going to stress out about something that could potentially happen or has it happened already? You deal with a situation as it arises. You don't sit there and pull your hair out and pop pills. Go on with your life every day. You could think of the worst and hope for the best. That's all. It's not that complicated. My favorite movie. Okay. Okay. Well, the dialogue is going down here anyway. So, tutu, toodala, tutu, tutu. All you lovely people, you're all very brilliant, brilliant people. Always enjoy talking to you. But I think certain things need to be cut out of my shows that if you're here for certain drama, I don't mind. And I really started off actually talking about Nico because I thought it was relevant. That's the reason I talk about it. I wasn't attacking him. I just thought it was relevant to talk about him. That I made an observation on how fast he talks. And it makes me wonder, what is this guy on, man? If anything at all, because the guy sounds like he's cranked up. I'm just saying, from my observation or my hearing, I can hear still. I'm not totally deaf. That something seems a little bit odd about that, a little bit fishy, a little bit suspicious. I mean, that guy talks 60, 70, 80 miles per hour. So it made me think and wonder. And like I said in my show, worry about your own lives and stop worrying about others. Unless you're putting food on my table, okay, you're irrelevant to me. You know, are you financing my life? You're irrelevant for me if you're not. I don't care what people talk about. I know the life I'm living. If I'm happy with my life in any form or way, that's all that matters. Nobody tells me what to do and how to live my life, how I should be living at it, being a retirement age. I'm happy with the status quo. I'm happy with what I do. I'm happy with my companionship. I have food on the table every day. Bills are being paid. I'm happy with it. That's all I got to say about that. If you got a problem with that, well, it's not my problem. Could be yours. Could be yours, but not mine.
All right, good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing? I hope you enjoy that link. That's a new channel that's out. It's called the Frank Battaglia News Channel. You guys should enjoy that one. Another channel in Frank's offering. All right, so let's talk about this first. Okay, he has Mark Cately in his channel, aka Bbots, a known pedophile. I, who else does he have in his channel? Oh, his flying monkey, AJG. All right, and Jerome Benefacio. Okay, now this really, this really, this really makes me laugh hard. Okay, and I'll tell you why. Because I want to know if Jerome Bonifacio knows Captain Bonifacio. And I can tell by the vernacular, it's either an English dude or an American dude. It's a Westerner that's in there asking him these questions. And Frank is so fucking blind. He can't, he just cannot, he just cannot see it. Okay. He needs to put his glasses on. Definitely. Frank, put your glasses on. Okay. Please, Frank, put your glasses on. All right. And you will do a lot better. Okay. You'll do much better. Oh, man. Um, Another thing, let's talk about this. He has been up since 4 a.m. listening to Nico. And in his hour and 20-minute live stream, he said the same thing over and over about Nico. And here's where his hypocrisy comes in. His hypocrisy is beyond the pale. He says, worry about your own life. You don't put food on my table. But within the last 72 hours, he's worried about Richard Jarrett, Jay Stillman, Barry Lee Jordan, right? This new guy out there, Burr, Nico. I mean, this guy's talking about everybody else, right? And this is what he does. He comes on and he insults people. And I don't even think he realizes that he's insulting people. I think he hasn't a clue, right? Because there's not one bone in his body that has an ounce of empathy. Right? The guy is a total asshole from top to fucking bottom. Brr, lol. What the fuck is that? I have no goddamn idea. Uh, Whoever that guy is in his channel, good luck to you, bro, man. Good luck to you. That's your thing. Good luck to you. Right? But see, we're here to talk about Frank's hypocrisy, Frank's bullshit lies. I mean, dude, the guy turns around and he starts on all these other guys because they go out there to the bars, they get the girls, they have fun, and we've discussed that. There's about two or three different type of guys that go to the Philippines. One set of guy goes, he wants to hit the bars, he wants to have fun, he wants to flame out, He wants to get the bar fines. That's their deal. Good for you, man. Hey, another guy, he goes there, he wants to get married. Hey, but Frank is very unique. Okay, because what did he do? He lost his family. He's divorced. Hey, his daughter doesn't speak to him. His brother is fucking dead. He in his brother's final hours, he just ignored his own brother. Didn't give two shits, you know? Didn't give two shits about his uncle, who he tried to use against me to compare, you know, military careers, which was so fucking sad. Just sad beyond compare. Right? But yet, he's the one, after he lost his daughter, his wife, everything, uh, he lost a lawsuit in Hawaii, said fuck it, and ran off to Philippines. I'll try and wipe the slate clean. And what did he do? He bought a girl a house that's married, has 8 kids. So he's renting them. And he's going to leave that asset to somebody he's been with 6 years instead of his own blood. That is fucking shameful. Right? That is just shameful and wrong. Right? I mean, like I said, the guy's an asshole, top to fucking bottom. Frank went to the bars and got ripped off. Remember? Yeah, he lost 23,000 pesos. Fucking stupidity. Right? And before he went to Philippines, he didn't listen what RRR had to say. Fuck no. That's what I love. These guys go off to Philippines. They get in all kinds of trouble. Right? And yet they come back and they make fun of us. I don't get it. I don't get it. I want to welcome in Chris Travels, Mike Luna, Mick Fisher, Patrick Glenn, Flying Circus, the great Flying Circus. Yes, Captain Thornton, welcome in. Chicken Choker, welcome in. All right, who else we got here? Mike Luna, welcome in. S. Simulacron, welcome in. Dr. Sniffs a Lot, welcome in. Van, welcome in. Reborn Troll, welcome in. Oh man, it's good to see you all tonight. Now look, I had to take the weekend off because that last show I did was mentally taxing. Okay. And Frank cries that I'm judging him. I don't judge anybody. Okay. You do what you want in life. But if you're going to come up on YouTube and you're going to throw out your whole family history, you're going to throw out what you're doing every day, what you eat for breakfast. You're going to talk about all your different court cases and what a fucking pest you are. I will tell you right now, I am going to comment on it. Guaranteed. I will comment on it. Big Burr is the latest edition of the fine expats we are importing to Southeast Asia. Yeah, Don C. Yeah. I mean, and then he talked about politics tonight. And he really sounded like he has TDS, Trump deranged syndrome. Right? I think he's been reading and seeing a few MSNBC videos and CBS videos like that. And then says, if he could vote, if you don't vote, I don't want to hear a fucking word out of you. You have no right to say fucking anything. And I'll tell you why. Because it is your civic duty to fucking vote. This guy goes overseas, bashes America while he's standing on foreign soil. Right? That's not judgment. That's fact. That's wrong. That is beyond the pale. Right? And I'm not even talking left, right, or middle of the road here. I'm talking it is your civic duty as an American citizen to vote. If you don't vote, shut your fucking mouth. I don't want to hear a goddamn word out of you or suck because you're not participating. Frank's real estate company, we do it right. Did you hear his live stream talking about his ex-wife and daughter again? No, I didn't catch all that, Don. I didn't catch all that. And Don, if you'd like to come up and talk about it, you're more than welcome. I will put the link out. I mean, it was it was actually, I mean, I watched replay put up, an 8-hour video. And there's no way I could go through an 8-hour video. I just don't have that much patience. Okay. I really don't. I don't have that much patience because in the hour and a half he was on, what did he do? He started out with Nico in the beginning. In the middle, he said the same shit about Nico, and at the end, he said the same shit again about Nico. I mean, dude, his brain is on fucking repeat, 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 and I just really, you know, whenever I do these simulcasts, a lot of times I walk away, make a cup of coffee, uh, go clean the kitchen up, come back, and boom, he's saying the same fucking thing. Right? Mike Dowdy, welcome in. Uh, who can stay awake listening to Frank for 8 hours? No, dude, that's sheer torture. I mean, I should send that 8-hour tape to Gitmo so they can play it to the prisoners there and give them all sleep deprivation and psychosis. It's you know this guy for the past 72 hours he has banged on everybody, and I repeat that for a very special reason because Frank is what I call an attention whore. Okay, whether it's good attention or bad attention, he wants it. Right? And what he will do is he will insult you and imply shit. And that's him throwing a rope to you. And he wants you to grab onto that rope and he wants you to argue with him. And dude, I'm just not going to argue with the guy. I'm not here to put out every facet of my life like Frank has. Right? That's what Frank does. And he puts his whole life out there and then he gets pissed when people comment on it. He doesn't even realize he has trolls in his channel. Come on, Jerome Bonifacio. Of course, the idiot doesn't even realize who Captain Bonifacio is. Okay. Mark Cately, a known fucking pedophile, aka B-bots in his channel. Right? Breaking news. Nico talks fast. Yeah, Nico talks fast. So what? You know? I mean, dude, just because you're on benzos and Xanax and you're going 2 miles an hour there, it's not my fucking problem. Uh, you can argue with a man who is as smart as a jellyfish, guaranteed, guaranteed. And but I will tell you all this. This is what I think is going to happen. Right? I think three people are getting ready to drop a case on him. And if they drop a case on him, he will get arrested. He will have to bail out. Right? And he'll really be between a rock and a hard place. Right? Because who hasn't this guy talked about? Right? He, in the past 72 hours, he talked about Shah again. He threatened Shah again. Right? How did he threaten her? He threatened her with legal consequences. That's a threat. A threat is a threat. Period. Right? Threat is a threat. And that's what he's done. And he's also made claims that Shah perjured herself. Right? That's defamation right there. He has no proof that Shah perjured herself. Okay? Let's see. And Aloe says, no, he will not. Okay, Aloe. And Aloe says, Shah carries no weight. Okay, Aloe. One of the more telling stories about Frank is himself. He told about the party attended in New York and how he felt less than exactly. Shah is nothing. What she says means nothing. Okay. I could see Aloe de Winter. You're very adamant this morning. Great. I love it when you're adamant. I love it when you're stubborn, Aloe. And don't worry, Aloe, I won't fucking block you, kick you off, any of that other shit. But yeah. And dude, when a decision is made, here's what's even funnier. When a decision is made on this BI complaint, if you see the paperwork, he was marked undesirable. Okay. It'll be 5 years before he can even try and get back into the country. 5 years. He'll be 76 years old. Okay. Dude, he's not going to make it to 76 years old. And dude, if he gets kicked out, dude, I will guarantee you I will do a fucking 8-hour live stream. And we will celebrate this if he gets kicked out. And Aloe de Winter, you are invited. Okay. And as usual, I will let you speak your mind. Oy, very dos mio. Welcome in, Devout Dawn. Haven't seen you in a long time. Nico's experience. But hey, what can I say? Just all gonna have to sit, fucking wait it out. Because, like I told you all before, the process in the Philippines is very, very slow. Okay? It's like snail's pace. They'll get to it when they get to it. It could be tomorrow. It could be next week. It could be 4, 5, 6 months from now. A wishful thinking parallel shaker. You killing me, Aloe. You just fucking killing me, man. But it is what it is, guys. You know? And the the guy, what did he do? He rented a basketball team and somebody else's wife, and he's proud of that. Oh my god. I'd fucking I'd cover my head in a burqa every time I went outside if I shacked up with somebody else's wife and was taking care of their 8 kids. I mean, come on. I mean, the guy has no fucking shame. All right. Please explain that one to me, Aloe de Winter. I mean, shacking up with somebody else's wife and taking care of the 8 kids. Help me out with that one, Aloe de Winter. What's that all about, man? I mean, you're Pinoy, at least half Pinoy. I mean, help me out with that one. What's on this fucking guy's head? He's taking care of her better than what Barry ever did. Well, see, Barry's a different subject. Okay. Barry's a whole different subject. Okay. I mean, when I put Frank and Barry side by side, I see twins. Okay, Aloe? I see fucking twins. Okay. I listen to how Frank talks to her, how he manipulates her, you know, and she's just hanging in there because, dude, she's going to have a house. She's going to have his bank account. And if he fucking dies, she's going to have his social security for at least the next 10 or 15 years. She's going to be living fucking great. Right? It's better to let your girl sign up for your internet and leave her kids. Dude, without a doubt, I do not contest anything you say against Barry. But you know what? You know the difference right now? There's only one difference between Barry and Frank. Right? And that's Frank isn't behind bars yet or kicked out of the country. And either one of those things need to happen. Barry uses these women and takes advantage of them. And yet you guys point at Frank being the bad guy who treats women badly. I think Gilda is better than any of Bama's ex girlfriends. All right. When you say you guys, don't include me in there because, dude, I don't like Bama one iota. You know that. And I'm here to pound on Frank because, see, the other guy's in jail. He's going home. Maybe someday, like I told you, come talk to me anywhere from 7 to 10 years from now. And while he's still sitting there, okay, losing his fucking what's left to his fucking mind. Frank will never be in trouble. Believe me, nobody will ever pull that off. He probably instruct her how to keep withdrawing his social security. I mean, the guy, Aloe, the guy cries. He's not a simp, okay? But yeah, he's a fucking simp. He's taking care of somebody else's kids. He's taking care of somebody else's wife. That's a fucking simp, man. Frank will never be in trouble. Okay. Frank's daughter has lots to say about how Frank treats the ladies. Yeah, yeah, Aloe, come talk to me when you could pull the curtain away and see what's behind the curtain. That's all I could tell you. Aloe, good point. Here's another. Frank's woman needs to listen to Frank 24/7 and watch Grey Garden 6 to 8 times a week. Barry's woman will get used to having to pay, but it's a short time at most. Yeah, I can't argue with you there, Don. See, Frank knows how to play the system. That's the difference in the Philippines. In the Philippines, the system will win. Nobody will cause him any trouble. All right, we'll see. We'll see, Al. All right, we'll see. And if you're right, I will capitulate and say you were right. All right? I think one of these days, Frankie Boy's going to take too many Xanax and he's really going to screw the pooch. Sad thing is, Parley is not Frank's uh, money, it's the American taxpayers' money. How long will it take you guys to understand? One year or two? Serious question. uh, but Aloe, you have to admit, the guy's a pest. He's an asshole top to bottom. Okay. And I know you admire that kind of guy. I know you do. Oh, but guys, it's Sunday night and I've really thoroughly enjoyed this conversation with you. Stank doesn't know how to play the system. Stank has just gotten lucky. Are you saying like Frank is like Don Knotts? Of course he is an asshole, but he's winning. If you call that winning, spending your money on lawyers, going back and forth to Cebu 2-3 times a month, I want no part of that winning. No, no, thank you. No, thank you. I mean, dude, he should have dropped the mic a long time ago, but he had to file cases, you know? He had to piss people off, but that's that. So, look, you guys enjoy your Sunday night, enjoy your Monday morning, and I want to thank you all for coming in, and I will catch you on the flip side. This is Popeye One. Guys, I'm out of here. Have a good one.